We're good?
You're good to go. Yes, we're on.
Okay, I'll call the meeting to order, and we'll go around and introduce ourselves, starting with Paula Jaconetti.
Paula Jaconetti, clerk and recorder.
Keith Van Sitten, Sheriff Coroner.
Brian Bedord, Commissioner.
Joe Dowell, Commissioner.
Sam Carlson, Commissioner.
Brian Coldewey, Planning.
Melody Bertelson, Shotowa Camp.
Okay, we have minutes from August 6th.
I would move to approve of those.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We don't have any road encroachments, so that brings us to the budget, and I will open the budget hearing for the next 2 weeks. We'll take public comment, and I guess my comments on the budget would be our department heads have done a pretty good job of being conservative. The one budget went up noticeably, and it would be the sheriff's budget. He applied for a COPS grant, so that will be contingent on Keith getting the COPS grant. The rest of the budgets were pretty much the same, except, I mean, they all show an increase of cost of doing business. That's just what we're dealing with, so. Did you have anything to add, Paula?
I do not.
You do not? So-
Joe, are there, what, if any, funding is in this budget for the HERS building?
We have the $700,000 that was left in that account.
Yeah, and it's listed in there, mailed on the sheets. Yeah.
And Mel, my plan is we're gonna go through that entire $700,000, and then we'll see where we're at. And then we'll decide whether we're gonna proceed. Our only other option at that point would be PILT.
Right,
So
right.
we're gonna see how far we can get on our existing funds, and then we're going to take it from there. But we'll
Do we have any major equipment purchases in this budget in any department?
the road bought a medium-sized excavator for cleaning out culverts and working on bridges and stuff. That's in this budget, and all of their pickups are gonna start hitting the 200,000 mile mark, so we've been looking at vehicle costs, and they're exorbitant, so we're going to try to look at options on used pickups and try to find low mileage used pickups. Depending on the price, 2, maybe 3. And then they've got about 10 pickups, so it'll take 2 or 3 years to rotate through and get those back to where they need to be for reliability.
And all 10 of them are bumping up against that 200,000?
Yeah, I don't think they have anything that's under 120,000 miles. So we'll start with the higher mileage pickups first, but our plan is to try to do 3 out of this budget.
And what are the tax ramifications of this year's budget? You're allowed to grow how much in the property tax section?
2.97 was our inflation.
Okay.
Yeah,
2.97% increase, up to, okay. And then talk with me a little bit about what your mill value did.
the mill value went up, was it $2,500? I could go get the old budget.
The mill value went from 24,747 to 26,760.
26,760. And do we know why our valuation went up? Is it just new houses or reappraisals that pushed?
Yeah, I'm not sure. My theory is the reappraisals.
So with the combination of an allowed 2.97% increase and the value of the mill going up, were you able to use fewer mills to raise more money?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is what we have to do on that front page.
Okay.
If our mill value goes up, then we can't levy as many mills.
Right. And so technically, you're lowering taxes, but you're all paying on higher appraised homes, so it doesn't feel like
Correct.
low ridge.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any, other than the HERS building, any courthouse improvement projects or other building improvement projects that need?
Yes, we let the bid out on the roof for the road shop in Fairfield.
Okay. And that's later on the agenda, so we'll talk about it.
Yep, and also the search and rescue approached us for funding to put a lean-to shed on the old garage south of the annex. And they're going to supply the labor, we're gonna supply the materials, so there will be that's a new building project, but it's gonna be, I think we budgeted $11,000 for that.
I did.
And it'll be a benefit because right now their boat and their ATVs are a lot of times they're sitting outside, and it'll be a lot better to get them under a roof.
Is it gonna have electricity, Joe,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. Yeah, and it's the same building where Scott keeps his tractor for snow removal, so we've been running an extension cord from the annex over to his tractor, which is
For years and years.
not optimal, so we are gonna put electricity in that, and I think that was gonna be about $2,000. But it's something that we've needed to do for a long time.
As far as employees, pretty much everybody received the $1 per hour raise?
Yes,
Okay. And what did your health insurance do? Oh, did it go?
it went up
I can't remember.
10%.
$109.
Yeah, I think it was a 10% increase.
Individual plan,
Yeah,
Yep.
it went up to $967 is what our,
967.
yeah,
And that covers about 30 workers?
I think we have 54.
54, approximately.
Mhm.
Okay. Anything else in the budget? Brian, you had applied for some grants for the Bruce building. Do we know anything on them yet?
No, they're still sitting with Congress.
So-
They're waiting for them to make a vote, and they don't know what they're gonna give us just yet.
Okay.
but they all are pretty iffy. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be fantastic if we get some help, but I'm not gonna bank on
Yeah.
it.
You're not holding your breath.
Right, correct.
Keith, any new vehicles for you guys? or-
Yeah, we're budgeted for 2. Replace our oldest vehicles, which are getting to be a black hole of
Maintenance expenses.
maintenance.
Yeah. Okay. And Keith, will you look at buying, they're just a small SUV type thing?
Yeah, we've learned that, sounds like Ford is gonna discontinue their police vehicles. And Dodge has stopped making the pickup trucks that we've been using, so we're having to reach out for kind of new ideas or new options. Still kind of researching that through the Montana, state procurement, bids.
And Keith, are you know roughly the year of your oldest vehicles?
We got a couple of, 15 and a 16 that we're looking to get rid of,
Okay.
and they're wore out.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else about this budget that taxpayers need to know? Maybe as far as the road department budget goes, are they good for doing lots of grading and lots of graveling this coming year?
Yeah, we don't intend on cutting back any services. The one comment I would make, the inflation is really hitting the road department, and it's hitting Keith too, that fuel prices are killing us.
Yeah.
And then the road superintendent told us about 2 months ago that road grader tires that were $900 3 years ago are now $3,000. I mean, it's just,
Wow.
we're doing the best we can to maintain the services that we do, but we don't expect any cutbacks on service from the road.
Okay. Anything else you guys can think of? people might wanna know.
I guess the only other comment was there'll be copies available at the clerk's counter if
I've
anybody,
got 'em up there.
if anybody wants to pick them up and look at them, they're certainly welcome to. And the hearing will be open for 2 weeks.
Okay. Do you guys expect to make significant changes in those 2 weeks? A lot of times it's just fine tuning, but we hope.
We always hope not, but if, I mean, if we
Yeah.
have to, we can't. That's why we have the 2-week period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, I'll shush up now. I'm the only one who ever talks at the budget hearing.
Pull up a chair.
Okay, that's the budget hearing that's open, and that brings us to bids. We had only one bid on the rooftop roof in Fairfield. So what's your pleasure, gentlemen, on that?
I would move to accept that bid.
I'll second.
And that was for $20,500, I believe.
And who was
I think
it with,
so.
Joe?
It was with
Lytle Construction.
Lytle Construction.
Metal construction or metal
Lytle
builders?
Oh, Builder, sorry.
Yes, Lytle.
So did I get a second on that?
I did. Second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Are they completely replacing the roof, Joe?
Yeah, it's an old flat roof and they're gonna put a pitch on it.
Okay.
And the building was the old state shop in Fairfield and it's been leaking for longer than I want to admit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
time to either tear the building down. It's a cinder block building, it'll last forever if we put a new roof on it, so it's a no-brainer.
They're gonna try to get that done this fall.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Then we had bids on the HERS building. One was from Lytle Builders and the other one was Sun Canyon Builders. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
Who had the low bid?
Lytle Builders was the low bid.
I would move to accept the Lytle builder's bid in the essence of getting going on the project.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Joe, I do need numbers though. They should be in the minutes from last,
They are.
okay.
The Lytle bid for the HERS building was $297 even, and the Sun Canyon Builders was $376, $250.
Who is Sun Canyon Builders?
Edwin Strubhar
Oh, okay.
was the owner.
Thank you.
And this bid is for framing of
Yep,
all the
it's-
offices and spaces in the loft,
Yeah,
but it does not include sheet rock or,
No, it's the framing. It
Yes.
includes a couple of firewalls.
okay, yeah, that's right, 2 firewalls.
yeah. Which raised the cost considerably.
Yeah.
So I had a second and a motion. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That brings us to union contracts. The road agreed to the language change that we had proposed, and we raised the insurance to $967 to reflect the new costs. And they accepted the $1 an hour raise, and the effective date would be July 1st on the road CBA. So if I get a motion to approve that,
I move to approve the union contract for the road department.
I'll second.
any further discussion? Any questions, Mel?
Covers about how many guys, roughly? A dozen?
50
50.
workers, I think, is in there.
Okay.
Everybody but Steve and Vicky. So it'd be 13.
Yeah, but she still has a road. So there'd be 12.
12?
Yeah, I'd say 13.
13. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Then we had the courthouse CBA, and there was literally no changes to that other than the effective date of July 1st and the dollar raise, which they accepted. So if I can get a motion on that.
I would move to approve that.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And that, we have the sheriff CBA, and I asked Keith to come over to explain the stuff on that, but I'll get a motion in a second to approve that.
I would move to approve the sheriff's CBA.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion. So Keith, you want to hit any highlights of that?
Not really, it was pretty much along the lines of the rest of the county as far as pay increase for everyone. And that there was just some wording issues that got changed, and they did allow us to make, instead of a 40-hour work week, the time frame is in 80 hours in 2 weeks for overtime purposes, which enables the employees and the county to take advantage of circumstances at the employee's request. So
Okay,
that would be the only biggest change, I guess.
okay,
Did increase the clothing allowance for the deputies $100 to $740 a year.
740, Keith?
Yeah.
And that's with
That's-
$100 increase,
Yeah,
it comes up to.
that's for the full-time,
Okay.
and the part-time people stay at the same level they were before.
And how many of your staffers does this cover approximately?
It would cover 7 dispatch, and then it'd be 8 of the
So 15,
full-time and 1 part-time deputy.
so say 16.
Yeah.
Okay. And Joe, the courthouse one covers 3?
Are we up to 3?
I think it's down to 2, isn't
Is
it?
it down to 2?
It's down to 2.
It
I
was
think
3
so,
for a long
yeah.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was 3 for a long time, but it's down to 2
Now
now.
it's down to- got it.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Okay. I don't have any more questions, guys.
No further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Which brings us to introduce yourself for the camera, Sweetgrass Development.
Absolutely. I'm Sarah Converse. I'm the Executive Director of North Central Montana Economic Development District, otherwise known as Sweetgrass Development. We're the economic and community development organization in the 5 counties of Glacier, Ponderay, Teton, Toole, Cascade County. Cascade, we work with the Little Shell and the Blackfeet Reservation. I am the only full-time employee right now, but we have contracted employees, which actually ended up really well with our budget. 2 years ago, the board decided to raise dues. We hadn't raised dues in 20 years. It was $2,000 a year, and they have requested $5,000. And so I'm going to each community and each county and saying, this is what we do, and this is what we're going to do. And actually, Teton County was kind of quiet for a little bit, but we were able to assist a business in Fairfield of totally reopening, new owners, doing some really great things with that. We actually did some brownfields work over there too, with some buildings there. The best thing that we have going, and we've done some work here in Shoto with that too. Anytime anyone is looking to buy a building, if they're looking at financing, a lot of times the bank will say, you need a phase 1, which just gives you a historical knowledge of the building, whether there's lead-based paint, asbestos, mercury in the thermostats, that kind of thing. We have those funds. 3 years ago, we were awarded $1 million in cleanup funds. And then 2 years ago, we were awarded $500,000 in assessment monies to do those phase 1s. If there's, I'm going to use the tumbleweed in Fairfield for an example because it was publicly noticed and things. we assisted it with the financing, but the bank wanted a phase one because of the tanks around in that area from the other properties. So we did a phase one, which was just historical, showing there wasn't anything in the building. So they were able to move forward with all of their construction and everything. If we had found something, and because they were doing such a remodel, say there had been asbestos in the flooring, we could have gone in and done the testing on that and then helped with the abatement on that too. So that's one of the big ones we have done, and they're doing very, very well. I'm in communication with Bill Hobble from Teton. They're really looking at what Janicki is doing in Great Falls and looking at what's available in Teton. But the best part of that is, and Joe and Sam, you know this well, every 5 years we go around and do our little dog and pony show, and we have surveys that go out asking people what they see as their issues, what they would like to see, and that type of thing. I can't believe it's been 5 years, but it's been 5 years. So we're doing that again. But
Okay.
through our brownfields program, we actually have a contractor that can go in and take a look at all the abandoned buildings, look at what's there, and kind of give you an economic development overview. Like, I'll use Scott's building here in town. He has retail on the first floor and was looking at putting apartments and things upstairs. We had done the assessments on that. So when he decides to go and actually put some apartments in and do that kind of thing, he's got that information already, so he knows what's there. But they can do the drawings and all of that, and I've put a funding package together, so it's not going to cost anyone anything to do this. And we're starting with Teton because they need some help. They've got a lot of abandoned, they've got a lot of for sales. But the long term is when we go through this 5-year plan, I'm looking at applying for some planning grants possibly through EDA and the state to fund that to do every community. So you'll have this, and then it can be an addendum to your growth policy. So you've got some really good details when you have to update that. So, and it's easily updated and things, but it's really interesting how they do it, and it's at no cost to the county. We actually have a few revolving loan funds left too, because that's primarily what we're focusing on is our brownfields and then business development with revolving loan funds. And we talk to, if anybody has an idea, they call us and we help work them through it. Sometimes it's just to get a business plan and they go to the bank and they're fine. Sometimes we work it through with them, and sometimes they find out this is not going to make me any money. I need to pivot and do something else. So we do have about $300,000 in tourism funds left. We have lent out $500,000 in Big Sky Economic Development funds that we have received from the state. We've loaned out $200,000 of tourism funds because we received about $500,000 from that. We have done 2 sub-grants through our Brownfields RLF. With the Brownfields program, it's $1 million. $500,000 can go to local governments or nonprofits. So say you're putting a new roof on and you need to know if there's stuff in the roof, we can do the assessment and we can grant you the money to abate that with your contractor. So we can do that should that be a need. But that's only if there's a need. But that's an example. We're working with 2 libraries right now, one in Browning and one in Conrad. The Browning Library hasn't been open since right before COVID. It flooded, which not a big deal, but then they didn't have air circulation in there the whole time it was closed, and it just molded through the whole building. Typically, we can't abate mold, but because it was in the mastic and the ceiling and everywhere, we were able to abate that. We're in the process right now. Our bids are due Friday to do the abatement on that building, and then the library has enough money to do the construction to redo it, to open it. So that facility will be reopened. And then the Conrad Library has some asbestos in the basement. Literally, they were doing some things down there and they ran into asbestos. They can't even go down there because it was opened up. So we're helping them with the abatement on that too, and that's in process. So we've got about $500,000 that if somebody has a lot of Petrofund, we can use our money if it's a Petrofund site. Say it's an old gas station and somebody bought it and you've got to make your copay and all of that. We can use those funds to do that. So that's kind of where we're at and what we're doing. The legislation will be up in the 27 session for our suite of programs. The Certified Regional Economic Development Corporation funding will be up for sunset. So if that doesn't get reauthorized, those are monies that will go away anyway. We received $70,000 from EDA. We received the dues from all of you, and we opened it up. It's not just counties paying. We're talking to cities and towns too, and it's on the sliding scale. So everyone can have a little skin in the game, and then be on the board too. It will open up board membership and things. It's been great having Sam on. I know he can't attend meetings. We've had this conversation a million times, but he does read my information, which is more than I can say for a lot of people. And I know if I have a question or need some input, I can call Sammy and he will totally answer. So we are going to miss you, even though we haven't seen your face in a while. It's perfectly fine.
Well, thank you.
And then you will need to reappoint someone too, and I'll give you a list of the board members. But we have contracted with someone who is doing marketing for us. You may be seeing newsletters coming out like once a month. She's a manager at a golf course now too, because she needed something else to do. It's Sky Gillum. She lives in Cut Bank. She taught at Blackfeet Community College in business and marketing.
Oh, okay.
So awesome.
Good background.
Fantastic background. She's worked for John Hopkins. She's done some tourism, and she's an amazing grant writer. So we're working through part of that. So if you're a member of Sweetgrass, you'll get a flat fee for grant writing services. And we're hoping to do, and research, that's the other thing. So if somebody calls you, we can do the research too, and she's really, really good at it. If I start it, I go down a rabbit hole and I don't emerge for like days, and then people are calling and it's awful, but she's really, really good, and I'm super excited. And then we have our business development officer and loan officer too. So the contracts have made it really worthwhile because we pay for the hours that are worked and things. So it's helped our $148,000 budget. But we've been able to accomplish quite a bit, and we would love your participation again. As you know, Teton County is always near and dear to my heart. I can't say that about some of the other counties, but
I look back in our agendas, and last year we had the $5,000 request, and we did give $2,000.
yep.
So
Yeah.
that's what we did last year.
Well, and last year I had screwed it up. We had 2 invoices. It was the year before and last year, and this year it was 1 invoice and done correctly. That was part of my coming out of a lot of personal stuff. So that was totally my fault. That was completely my fault. I'm like, I'll just send them 1 for each year, and that didn't work. So Glacier County has agreed to pay. We're doing some brownfield stuff there, and with the library, they really like that. But, yeah, so I am gonna try to meet with Bill today because they're trying to get Dutton Economic Development. Wasn't it Dutton Economic Development? The original name 20 years ago. I can't remember. They're trying to get it kind of worked out again because they may have overflow from people wanting to live. I mean, Fairfield, Shoto, it'll all be a piece, and I'll get into housing if I absolutely must. Absolutely must. But there's a lot of buildings there that some things can be done with that has some good opportunity. So that's what we're doing. So we would love $5,000 so that I could actually hire someone to do this reporting stuff and get the invoices out on time the way they should be, because I'm a terrible secretary.
What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I don't know. What do you think?
You're the board member.
Well,
And what we
For
what we
3 more months.
what historically we've
Yeah.
done when we get a new commissioner and the new commissioner just takes
Just
over
comes
the
and
boards
takes.
that
Sure.
the old commissioner that they replace. So that's
Yeah.
I
That's
anticipate
probably what's
that's
gonna
what's
happen.
gonna happen.
it'll be up to you two, but, yeah.
Or if one of you would, like to join in, that'd be. Joe's like, no, Sarah, that's okay. I'll just read your stuff as it comes through.
Okay.
And Sky's going to be updating the website, and we'll be doing more newsletters, and some that are a little more
Okay.
local government specific and some things like that too. And I still sit on the Mako Economic Development and Labor CE. Community Economic Development and Labor Committee, all these acronyms. So,
Well, it does sound like you're doing more in Teton County, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah,
yes,
thank you for that.
absolutely. Well, and there's a lot that can be done here in Shoto too. I just
Sure.
have to get out and about. It's just, I'm the only person, so makes it a little more difficult. But we're gonna be talking to the banks to help. Like if they have somebody that needs gap financing, we have enough money to do that most of the time too. And we also follow up. It's the other piece. Like a lot of times banks will not follow up, but we follow up at least a couple times a year with site visits and things like that to make sure everything's going smoothly. And
We did 2,000 last year.
We
Yeah.
did 2,000 last year, and it's obvious that they're doing more in the county than they have in the past, so maybe we should think about 3 and just slowly phase it into 5.
Yeah,
Would that be-
I will take
my
that to the
concerns
board.
is, my concerns is 2 to 5 is over 100 and some percent increase.
Over 20 years.
And,
Yeah. I would go with 3.
I'm fine with that.
Any further discussion? And you'll take that to your board and see if
I'll
they
take
can
it
live
to
with
the board
that.
and see what the
Okay.
situation is. Yeah,
All right.
because it's not an open-ended, you can just pay what you want kind of thing.
Sure.
I mean, so I will take it back.
Okay. So,
I moved to increase to 3,000 for Sweetgrass Development.
I'll second.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And
Of course.
the updates. So, all right.
Okay, that brings us to Brian.
Okay, so since we don't actually have a sanitarian who has an environmental degree and to sign off on all of that stuff, we have been using Southwest Consulting to review plans, plan documents for the 76-4 DEQ. I guess like clarification and what they're listing as their exemptions and what they're listing for the proposed plan that they're submitting. I'm requesting that we add $100 to the fee to cover that cost, so that's not something coming out of our budget.
And what is it now?
We're not charging anything.
Oh, okay.
So right now, we're not charging for the additional fee. And so I'm trying to basically stop
Just
that
cover
from,
the cost.
yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Okay,
And what's this fee for again? I'm sorry.
For the review of the 76-4 DQ for planning documents submitted. So that's for Southwest Consulting. So whenever there's an exemption on a plan that states 76-4, septic system exemption, or there will be none, Southwest Consulting confirms that that actually matches with the request, and they give approval. They work with myself and Dan, and just make sure that it's all done, and usually it's done. And Dan adds that to his report.
Okay.
And the only thing that I'm asking as well is to remove the $25 application fee for septics. Currently right now, I'm managing that portion with Southwest Consulting, and they're not charging us for that. But if we need their assistance on it, it's such a small fee, and it's a lot of work to get the $25. Like a lot of times it's phone calls, us go out there, they don't have the check, and then we're tracking it down. It's a lot of work just to get a $25 check. No, it doesn't sound like it should be, but even I talked to Corey Rose. She said it was a pain when she was doing it. So speaking to her county doesn't charge for the application. And then only time that we would charge any type of fee is the mileage for when we go out there. But even then, it's still trying to track down a fee. So I'm just asking for that $25 application fee to go away, or we actually start doing something more substantial.
okay, and those are the only two changes?
That's all I have.
Okay. What's your pleasure, gentlemen?
I'm fine with both of those. I would move to approve both.
Second.
Any further discussion? Motion carries. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.
Okay, commission reports.
I don't have anything.
No, I don't know. Outstanding.
The road graders are slowly spreading out through the county. They concentrated on the Fairfield area last week now, and so the outlying areas should see them pretty soon.
I know Fifth Road's beautiful.
It is.
I got to drive yesterday. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess the only other, we did budget for some gravel crushing, so that will help things too. I know we never have enough gravel on our roads, but we're trying. Okay, public comment. No public comment?
No public.
Okay, our next meeting is September 3rd, and I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, 42 minutes.
It was
Yeah,
long to watch.
it's kind of a record almost, huh?
Oceans and pools.
The world balance.
At least for a while.
Get them through.